And I'm gonna tell y'all um, what's been going on. Uh, get a little caught up on things. Do a couple more invites. See if we can't get warmed up in here, so I can give y'all the message, so y'all can be caught up on what I'm seeing on the land. So today is May 1st, I believe. Let's see. Yep. And May 1st is called May Day, right? And that's the day that they stormed Normandy in World War II. Which brings me to the Black Panther Brigade. So, a lot of y'all don't know about the Black Panther Brigade, but it was a whole tank battalion in World War II. And General Patton said if anybody gonna save America, that it's gonna be this group of Panthers right here. That was World War II. That group of Panthers was primarily composed of Mississippians, but they was all from the southern regions, blood ties wise. So they all come from the South. Most of them went back to the South. Before we had a Black Panther Party for self-defense in California, we had a Black Panther political party out of Mississippi. And they wasn't buying the bullshit, right? So Geronimo Pratt, G. Jagger, that's the Geronimo that they be talking about in the books. That was him. He's a strategist on the land, a military strategist, and they put him in their military and let him see their strategies and how they was worked from the inside, right? So when he came home, he was able to feed this information into the California branch of the Black Panther Party and to start telling us that we need to research and study guerrilla warfare, right? So now Mutula and the East Coast branches of Panthers is still getting wind of what's taking place in California. So we at war with these motherfuckers. We ain't never not been at war with these motherfuckers. We was on what you call a ceasefire, right? We had a conjure war to fight. We had spiritual warfare to tend to that would make this shit down here be easy as fuck to overcome. So the spiritual warfare game, we call it on Earth a conjure war. It was a galactic chess game between the Amun, the unknown, the hidden ones, gods, and the Aten gods who they concealed in order for us to see if we would be able to recognize each other. So this is your story when you talk about King Tut, Akhenaten, and the war of the priests, the Amun priest versus the Aten priest. It's the same fucking war. The shit never stopped. So in the culture wars, while they was fighting World War II, we was collecting intel on how they was overthrown in Europe and sent over here in the first goddamn place. Right? Now, mind you, we already invited half of Europe over here because they was using pale faces to block the institutions so we couldn't get the information. And so when they did that, we don't have no choice but to overrun the institutions with what we call friendly faces that is going to put the shit in the public domain. So now you got Manly P. Hall, you got Aleister Crowley, you got France Bardone putting it all in the public domain. Right? So now we understand what we up against. But even the Scottish Rite put it in the public domain in Morals and Dogma. And then they put out little snippets as quotes of prominent members of the Scottish Rite, like the Rothschild family and the Rockefellers family, when they was talking about putting us under the pressure. Pressure busts a pipe, but it won't break me. I'm just going to turn into a motherfucking diamond and boss up on your ass. So, I told y'all before, George Washington was the shaved Albert Pike version, the same way as Mona Lisa was the shaved Leonardo da Vinci, the same way that Abraham Lincoln was a lightened up version of the Abraham Lincoln, but he was the, what's that motherfucker name? I posted about him the other day. You got to look at the pictures to get the switcheroo. They playing 3-card money with the shit. We ain't supposed to figure it out. When they told me about this shit, yep, George Gurdjieff, yep, Uberman, almost Uberman, yep. So the Uberman is the Superman in English, and the Superman in English is a divine masculine. Right, Abraham Africanus is the one that they replaced, who was a member of the Continental Congress. See, they was replacing these motherfuckers with the people that was doing the dirt as the hero. And they was replacing the hero with, or erasing them, whitewashing the history. That's a classic Anunnaki war tactic. Could call it defacing the gods. Shoot the nose off the Sphinx and see if I'm gonna find who she is then. But they ain't all knowing. They can just only do what they can do. So when the chiefs put this shit together on the land, and we start sharing the information, we can't trust anybody that run for an election, because we get sold out every single time, not sometimes. So we already know we can't trust no political figures, right? Because we always get sold out. So we got anything we do with a political figure to try to reclaim the land, we have to find a way to a plan B in case they don't do their job, in case they fall off. We can't get our shit back. We ain't gonna never be in the position where we can't get our shit back. I don't care who make the rules. When they call me to fix the problem, I'm gonna fix the problem. So we get a good Moorish education here, because if you don't know the purpose of the moves of the master, then you can never understand the motive of the mission, right? It's obvious that we've been usurped. That's not a secret. It's obvious that we have an occupied force on the land. That's not a secret, because they make you do what they want you to do, and that's not autonomy. So we got an outside force on the land as an occupied territory. Now, watch this. The entire landmass that they were supposed to control was a 10 square mile patch of land off the waterway in Washington, D.C. Ain't none of the rest of this shit ever been classified as anything other than tribal land. But because you don't know it, you going along to get along without questioning the status quo. Right? And Chief Peacock in the house, which is what I was doing the last couple days. I've been getting knocks from chiefs all over the land, and they've been giving me receipts and collecting my receipts to verify who I am. And they done already did the verification. So now that they know who we is and who we dealing with, let's talk about the feathers. See, a long time ago, when this was the Atlan, and we lived in harmony. There was a giant raptor, big ass bird, and the bird's feathers was so pretty, they was fluorescent like, and they glittered in the sun. And so they was huge feathers, like they was like ostrich feathers, right? And the women used to get together and make a headdress for the chief to be able to be seen in the distance on top of Thoth's pyramid in Mexico, right? So when he's standing up there from a distance, he looked like a giant fucking bird. Now, under the suit behind him is his personal security and his military force, and they all under the same wing plume dress that the women made for the highest chief on the land. And they all helped the pyramid, and it was so huge that it would wrap around the pyramid, and then that's when they knew that Quetzalcoatl was home, because they had this ritual that they would do every time he returned, and they would wrap that pyramid down there in Mexico with these giant feathers of this now extinct bird. And as the sun make his journey across the sky, they dancing. They doing what we call today stomping the yard, right? And they feet make a thunder sound, right? So when they make the thunder sound, it causes all of those on the West Coast that we call Crips to cricket walk. Now, they used to have like coconut bottom shoes that when they did the sea walk, it used to clack, clack, clack louder than the stomp, but it was a sharper sound, right? So this would echo, and when the echo hit the sky, it would trigger a buildup of electromagnetic energy and shoot a lightning bolt. And the intensity of this ritual would go on all day, right? And the same energy would be harnessed when the crimson sky roll in. By the way, the crimson sky is rolling in from the south for those who can't keep up with the meteorological events. The people that's keeping up has already sent me some receipts showing me that the red sky is rolling in from the south, right? So, right, why in the fuck is it rolling in from the south? That's the top. The south is up now. The south is up. So when they say Nibiru would be going under the earth, Nibiru's tail right now is coming over the earth. Nibiru is on the far side of the sun, about to be seen in broad open fucking daylight, because it's getting closer and it's moving from the sun's ability to block its presence. And then you're going to see it sitting right off from the sun. When that starts rolling in, when that dust starts getting into all of the, because I can already see traces of it coming in when I was just outside on the dock looking up at the sky from the south. So the crimson skies is rolling in. This shit is a wrap. Big Mama home, right? So you can tell your Scottish right. You can tell your York right. You can tell your ancient mystic order of the Masonic lodges. You can tell your ancient and Arabic order of the mystic shrine. You can tell all them motherfuckers, your Scottish right, York right, red rose, white rose, this shit over with. We know who the fuck we is. Y'all lost. Hiram raised, masters, a self-raised master on deck. Y'all not gonna never beat us at the game that we created. Stupid motherfuckers. So, in the process of developing a game plan, you let them play their motherfucking hand until they trapped in the corner. Now they screaming like mice trapped in the corner. This is Mayday. This shit a wrap. They finna storm the motherfucking doors on these motherfuckers if some shit ain't moving soon. Now, it's time for the people to start seeing this shit play out. Now they slow rolling it with the Hunter Biden laptop, but they done already made a link to the Podesta, to Giant Podesta, which is gonna bring up Hillary and the Podesta files. So we gotta watch the red skies rolling in as this shit roll out. Because if this shit ain't done by the time them red skies roll in, they in some helly trouble they don't want. You know? So, all the chiefs on the land is waiting on us to be aware of who we are. Once just awareness is sufficient to link with the chiefs. We are all of us on the same mindset. We know we ain't came on no motherfucking ships. We always been here. We've been here so long that we was here before here was here. Because we built this shit. We organic to the land. Spring forth out this bitch like trees. Like motherfucking grass through the cracks of the concrete. We gonna always get it from the dirt because we know how to maneuver on this land over here. So no matter what you put in the streets to try to hold us down, we still gonna use everything, every tool of oppression as a come up. Because we can work with scraps, motherfuckers. You forgot about chitlins? You forgot about that shit? We know how to work with the scraps. We know how to cook neck bones and shit. We know how to we live off the scraps. We don't need the center cut. We sure like to have it, but we don't need that shit. Right? So, all of those people who thought that they knew who they was dealing with, that fuck Rod Hayes shit. Watch what you got coming. Right? And all these cross-out artists gonna cross their own out, trying to escape the wrath that's coming for their ass. They threw rocks at glass houses and they ain't even got a house. So now somebody throwing rocks back. Ain't nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They wide open in the field. Right? They came over here, filled our head with all this holy roller bullshit because if you use and weaponize the nature of the people as a spiritual people, religion is a pseudo-spiritual practice that will give them the impression that they practice in their spirituality. Never knowing that they using the religion to keep you from practicing your own shit so that they can continue to use your shit against you. So they turned everything that we was doing around on us and told us it was evil and of the devil. And they doing everything that we used to do to us in secret. Why they telling us this shit? And we falling for it. I'm not falling for it. So, when they came in, we fought. All the way till the ceasefire. Right? Now the ceasefire came out of them saying that we crashed their ship. Our landmass crashed into their ship. And that's what gave them the crime scene 10 square miles while we settled the beef, while we settled the feud in Galactic Court. Right? Because if our landmass can crash into their ship, then they right. But if our claim is right, and our landmass was here while their ship was on the go and they crashed into us, we win. So their ship was called the Plymouth. Y'all know the Plymouth, today they call it the Mayflower. Because there is where they had to, that was the crashed ship. So because of that, they had to keep a ship in the bay at all times, and they could only leave at the close of the fiscal year to deliver batch roll birth certificates back to Europe. Who the fuck over there? Right? So this was the London involvement, because all of the bankers they really was situated in Switzerland. And that's why Switzerland was able to avoid all the wars. They look like this, but they Swiss. They look like this, but they Swiss. Until they go and tell you they Ashkenazi. Right? Then they start recruiting other people to put up in front of them. They call them Sephardi. Right? So, while these Jews, called Jews, is making us, we supplying the wealth of the world off of our labor, off of our backs, while they got us as an occupied territory to settle a dispute. And if we don't wake up to the fact that they already surrendered, that's what the Indigenous Rights Act of 2017, the United States Congress passed, because it tell you in there, all Indian land, if the government collapse, in the hands of the caretakers of the land, the native tribes, to restore balance to the land. Right? So what did we do? When we won, we had to stake a totem pole in Washington, D.C. to show the tribes on the land that we got our shit back. We took over the 10 square miles that was the crash site because we took over their ship. Nancy Pelosi, you sunk my battleship. Right? And so once that happened, we was able to seize the Admiralty flag and stake the flag with no fringe. That's called restoring the law of the land and removing the Admiralty jurisdiction. The Admiralty jurisdiction is what they was using to issue rants of war called warrants in order to go to war with us, one individual at a time. Now, why would a whole nation go to war with one individual? Because in our sovereign capacity, it take a whole nation to subdue us, and we can't never join forces because we always used to fighting on our own. Well, the Chiefs got wind to how they was moving. See, Noble Drew Ali had to go and find out what these motherfuckers was doing to us in secret. And then he had to put that shit in the public domain. So they murdered him for it. But not before he told Elijah what he needed to know. And not before he told Fard what he needed to know. Not before he made that meeting with Marcus Garvey and they understood what the problem was clearly. The reason why Garvey taught Pan-Africanism, because Africans gonna tell you when you studying with real Africans, nigga, you was already there. But they got the ones that come over here to exploit us that play along with what we call white man lies. Thick face, black heart. Black face, white mask. Right? So we study Pan-Africanism and we understand that they doing the same thing over there to them that they doing over to us over here in the efforts of colonization, meaning we have a common enemy. So the Pan-African is called a confraternity, which is a world fraternity. And not until the meeting of indigenous peoples took place under Sukarno did we all come to the final motherfucking death blow of how to put these motherfuckers off the land. So now we got it all figured out. It's not a secret no more. We know who they is, what they did, how they done it. And then when we figured out who they was, we monitored them every step of the way and let them continue thinking it was business as usual after I done told these stupid motherfuckers this is not business as usual. This is the interruption. Right? So all the chiefs on the land now aware. We looking to see Larry. Shut that motherfucking bullshit fake ass news off and put the EBS on so the people can hear what's really going on the land. Right? Flush Trump out. Make that motherfucker earn his motherfucking keep. He know what he supposed to be doing. Stop dragging y'all feet, Farrakhan. Crack the motherfucking whip on their back like they did us. Right? They knew who they was murdering when they was murdering us. Cheating in the game. Well, Johnny Come Lately then kicked all their ass in the brain banging game that the chief told him to play. Tell him to bow down and bow the fuck out. It's a wrap. Take this shit home. Final scene, close production, whatever the fuck. Exit stage left and right. And exit stage center, stage top and stage bottom. Just get this shit the fuck over with. The people tired and I'm tired too. Right? We need to hear from the chief. We need to know what's going on the land. Look, this Moore brother doing this video, he had called me a couple years ago. We chopped it up for a minute. I was real proud of him. But check out what he's got on here.
He who controls the woman controls the nation. The defeat and enslavement of the Moabite Moorish nation in the Western Hemisphere is the most secret history in all public literature. Both the history and culture is kept from public consciousness as much as possible by the ruling colonial states and their European citizen subjects. The status quo condition of social rot is agreed to and supported by many Moabite Moors who use, maintain, and cherish the black and Negro labels and European names, titles, and positions awarded to them for their service. They sell the blood of their own people for a few pieces of silver. He who controls...
They sell the blood of their own people for a few pieces of silver. But it's only one thing. They have no remorse because they ain't us and we ain't them. Because we don't sell each other out. Right? And the ones of us that do, they can kiss ass. They can go with the ones who they sold out to. That way we get all the sellouts out anyway. Right? So, I ain't gonna drag this on. I'm gonna let some people come in and talk about what's going on the land. Don't look like she gonna come in. Let's go to the next person. Okay. Try another one. I got ready to push somebody in, and then this thing, the person I just invited.
What's up, big dog?
What's up, God body? Tell the people your name, where you calling from.
Wine. How you been?
I'm good.
Hey,
I'm good.
I got this, growing shit like you.
Hey, tell the people your name, where you calling from.
I'm Jabal. I live in Seattle. I'm originally from New Orleans and stuff. You heard me? Buck Jump City. You know what time it is.
Yeah.
You told us the people was gonna go crazy in New Orleans for the Mardi Gras. You know we act the fool. You did.
Yeah.
They can't take that. They can't take that from us. You put that science on them. You did.
Yeah, they tried to take it from New Orleans before. It didn't go too well.
Man, we worldwide. You know this thing, like you say, it's originated everywhere. We was doing all the festivals all over the states and everything.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about in Mexico, where the Great Thunderbird ceremony was at Thoth's Temple.
Yes, sir.
That was just Mardi Gras down there. It was still Mardi Gras. We doing the Stomp the Yard.
Yeah.
Got 100,000 niggas Crip walking on one side and 100,000 B walking on the other side, activating the energy and the elements.
Yes, sir. Man,
we got the sisters.
You put the
shaking their rump shaking, making the earth element move.
Yeah, they be shaking their tail feather. You be putting the knowledge in us. You be awakening us. I'm telling you, for real though.
Y'all gonna remember before it's over with fucking with me, because I'm gonna tell the whole story.
For
Piece
real.
by piece until y'all can put it together.
How you feel about WAG 100 got unreleased tapes of Larry Hoover? You heard about that?
Yeah, it was just interview tapes though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they wanted to use them to do a documentary.
Oh.
WAC 100 talking from the land.
Yeah.
So he's talking about something that's going on in order to tell the other chiefs something else that's going on behind the scenes.
Trying to raise their vibration.
He got to agitate them.
Yeah.
Right? Cause that's his color. The red agitators. They make you get on your toes and check your game. Right? That's what they supposed to do. Once you on your toes, then you can crip walk. You can't crip walk flat footed.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you need that agitation from the red in order to make the blue move. So the bump to the blue was Big U, but Big U was the OG who made sure Nipsey didn't get killed for real.
Yep.
But we don't know how to read the land.
I know it was some funny shit, but it is, you got to master what you know. You got to keep in mind, you got to have your Darscape process in the 3D. You got to go way beyond 3D.
Yeah, well, your mind is a God mind. You can see from the 9th dimension down from the 3D. But that is spooky because it requires you to have a certain amount of fearlessness because you can't be too attached to the physical realm. You can't let the affairs of men subjugate you into submission or you'll never see from your God mind. And that's why I say you can't take sides in the shit they talking, because 9 out of 10, they telling you a lie to make you behave in the manner they need you to behave in order for you to stop the progress.
So the dark matter and the dark energy, you dig? You got to keep it, moving. Look, I got my altar. Look, I got my, hold on. I don't know if this thing going to switch around. I got my little altar and everything. You can see it. I got Marie LaVue. You know what I'm saying? The God, you know about Marie LaVue, the goddess? She go way back. She came way back in different styles and flavor. Medusa, Lucifer. She came back in different stuff. They try to make her taint her image and stuff.
That's the symbol for the entire matriarchy. When they tried to subjugate the whole matriarchy, that's what he's talking about when he said they try to snuff out any traces of the culture. And they love the terms black and Negro for references to us because it keeps us subjugated. And they are aware of this. Right? So they're using that as a tool against us. And now we got to fight on whether we was Moors or not, knowing good and goddamn well wasn't no Moors in the Atlant. But that wasn't a Moroccan Empire. We was here before all that shit. You hear no talk of a Moroccan Empire before 1492 when they came. And they had to backdate the history in order to tell it how they needed to steer the narrative. But if you don't know what Noble Drew Ali did, then you can't even get the messages that he put in the literature to tell you who the enemy was and to show you how to find the enemy's trap in your own paperwork.
Yes, sir.
Right? He telling you everything. That's why he said, look, he said, I can count the amount of Moors that's going to make it on one hand and still have fingers left. That's less than 5 motherfuckers.
Yes, sir. I see somebody say you don't supposed to show your altar. Look, I'm gonna show it because like Big Bro said, you gotta have receipts. So I'm gonna show pieces of it, but I ain't gonna get the science online what I'm doing. But it is what it is.
Look, that came from them telling us not to share the information. They was telling us all our shit was evil.
Yes.
So in order to hold on to our shit, we got to keep a veil of secrecy over it and still do it. Can't nobody do nothing with your altar but you,
Yes, sir.
because that's your link to your ancestral lands. All they can do is know what your altar look like, but they can't alter what you do at the altar, right? So you could. It's not about so much as showing it. It was at a time when we couldn't show it without causing us to suffer the wrath of the enemy. My father called him the Black Hand. And that was the black hand that hung from under the KKK outfit that led the pale-skinned armies of KKK members that worked for them. The Black Hand brought the same Spanish dress for the Easter festival. It's galactic chess. That's the beastie hordes on horseback.
For real. Yes, sir. See, look, I went, I the name came from the universe, Cosmos Galactic. And I came from Cos, I was Cos Maccabee, then I just came to Cosmos Galactic. And it was just the universe. It's something special that came and resonated and changed my thoughts about stuff and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got Lucifer
you waking up
right here, and then I found out she was a black queen. Everything happens for a reason. It's a science to the madness. I had a merger. Look, I'm gonna just show a level. You see, I got the dragon Ouroboros, the pyramid, a merger, Lucifer right here. But people don't understand. It's a science to everything, and it came to me, and it just came, brother, and I don't know. It came from the universe. Mother, mama,
yeah.
the great
Well,
mama
look,
just told me, and I got it tatted. It just was, I was reading books, and my mind something told me just to tat it on, man. It was like, it's crazy. I can't even explain it.
Okay, so remember earlier, I say when you in your God mind, you can see from the ninth dimension down. As you move up, you hear sounds. The sounds will translate according to your understanding. In this case, it's giving you your name in pieces. Then you put it all together. It's called attaining the level. It's different when you name yourself. Right?
Yes, sir.
Because you're gonna have now because you name yourself, you know what the name means, you know what your duties are. Your life purpose unfolds in the name.
And my infinite number is 9. I'm a Virgo, so all that is crazy. I was born September 12, 1977, so it's crazy mathematical numbers, numerological numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be peeping you and listening to you, and I listen to everybody. It's what you take. It's not the messages. It's what you take out the message. No matter where it come from, just take certain stuff and put it in your mind and put it in your thoughts and progress it and live through it.
Yep. Because once you can see from another person's perspective, you can avoid their mistakes because you know what not to make.
Yes, I'll be listening to you. Like I heard a few times you say don't sign no heritage. I mean, them documents, papers and shit, telling you what your birthright and all that shit is.
It's a paper trap. That's not how we did it. And when we started writing it down, it was at Big Mama house in the family book.
Now, brother, did you hear the Big Mama energy? Because you say Big Mama, and I heard somebody, I can't think of the person's name, but they say the Big Mama energy is coming right, is here from the eclipse.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
like Soul Food, Big Mama used to run the whole thing in a family tree
yeah,
to put us all together and we unite as one.
yeah. We cut all that bullshit. We don't do that at Big Mama house. It's called disrespectful. So we all got to put our egos to the side, and then Big Mama gonna tell us what to do.
And people be copying. I didn't want to say I see people copy you, Mama Bear and all that, but I know what you the first one to say Big Mama because it's she the generator of us all.
Mama Bear got a different meaning.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
The Bear Clan is a whole tribe,
Oh, all right.
right? And they got branches of the tribe, got Mama Bears all over the land. Those are at the top rank of the Earth Queens on this land, the Mama Bears. And they got that name because in their clan, they will fuck you up about their babies just like a Mama Bear. They fight harder than a grown ass man about their babies. Right? So they're gonna do whatever it takes to protect the babies first, a true matriarch. She'll throw herself in front of you between the babies and a machine gun.
Yes, sir.
You know? So they got high rank on the land.
So you've been awoke for about what 20 years? Like not woke from because I come from a Christian family and I used to be going crazy. You talk about God, Jesus, and then it just something that mysterious happened to me through time and trials and tribulation that woke me up. And the belief was ain't no heaven, hell, that shit all make believe. Really no devil, God. It just it's frequencies and your process of how you put your mental together and move forward in life.
So all of those things was to give you a replacement for spirituality that gave you religion. Because the purpose of religion is to weaponize against the spiritual people so that they can control how they move. They tell you this when Constantine decided to establish the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church was the first religion. Judaism was written after Christianity as a backstory. Islam was written by Catholic priests to deceive the Arabs into thinking that they had a prophet that taught that shit that's in the Quran. But they hid all of their traditions and customs by changing names of the divine feminine and shit like that.
Man, you right on key, bro, for real. So I'm gonna let it's a good honor to be with you, brother. I salute you. Stay positive, focus, big dog, and keep it up, man. We with you, 1,100%. You dig? And we will meet. Believe that. I'm gonna
Yes,
let
sir.
other people go because I know I don't want to take your time, sir. Salute, brother.
Okay. Salute.
Yeah.
Brother, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm blessed. I just wanted just really quick because I know people want to get in with their questions and everything. Just want to just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for doing the work that you're doing. Just exposing so much information on our lives and to our community, and just a lot of people that's been coming on your live. That from you being on live, jumping on our lives, we've been building like massively. So. We a tribe of sisters and brothers out here that's really, you giving us assignments, and I have to say we finishing a lot of those, and I'm really, really blessed with the fact that I see my people jumping on right now. I'm really blessed with the fact that I just want to give you a little update about what's going on the land. So,
Yes, ma'am.
since we first talked over a month ago, we have our full apothecary now. So we have our full-blown apothecary doing the work. We also we over here working with our birthing center, so we really working super hard to get those done. We got a group of midwives and stuff. We have a bona fide one that's in the tribe, Baby Mama Hood. So we've been really, really working on that, and just your words of encouragement and the videos that people are able to go back, it really makes our brothers kind of, when they come into the room with us, we got that big mama energy, so we learning how to not take sides when we dealing with these egos. So it's just been really, really beneficial to just be able to have those results. So I just, anybody that's listening, y'all on here, the brothers, the truth, we already know you the truth. And just thank you for just tribal building for a lot of us that are out here and have, been, I can't say lost. We've been wandering a little bit, trying to figure out where to go. So we really appreciate you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate y'all too. Because we gotta, we all gotta work together in order to overcome the opposition. But we also gotta be able to know how to tell when the opposition is in our midst. Because they look like us, but they ain't us. And they come in to turn us against each other so they can solve the problem for a fee.
Yes. Yes. And so, we're just dealing with the work. So, we really appreciate the fact that it's just like for us on our lives, anybody that, wants to ever come in, pop in on Mondays and Fridays, we do a live dealing with mental health. And mental health is a prime key to what we need to do to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. It's a sister that knows the Oshun rituals for the sisters, and she in New York.
Okay.
So for y'all that want to connect with her, look her up on Instagram or Facebook under Goddess Glow Up.
Okay.
She already do the retreats. She already know what to do with the sisters and the groups. She know how to tune the energy so y'all all on the same frequency, and y'all can take that energy. The higher y'all raise it, it becomes contagious to every righteous woman y'all pass. Her energy will just start matching that level.
Okay. And that's what we need. We just need, because we hear a lot of brothers always talking about what sisters not doing, and we just at that point where here with our tribe.
Y'all used to get murdered for trying to restore the balance in the energy field. Now y'all can do this shit without getting murdered. And now the only way you gonna seize back the power is to start doing y'all shit. It's y'all shit.
Exactly.
First right to the earth rights.
Exactly. And we realizing that, once what we're doing is pushing, and so our brothers are getting in alignment. They don't have no choice but to get in alignment.
Yep, especially when you hit that big mama energy, right? And the respect with going to Big Mama house, you could just feel the respect in the atmosphere. It just put you in line. You can't get out of line.
No, not at all.
Except for that one uncle. He got to be the example to know what happened when you get out of line at Big Mama house.
And he got to be.
It's the same uncle.
Yeah, and he got to be that example. That probably the one some of us learn not to be around. So we always had that example.
He gonna come to Big Mama house disrespectful, and one of the other uncles gonna beat his ass like we do at every family gathering.
Yes.
And then he gonna be sitting there with his thumb in his mouth like he ain't done nothing wrong. That's so that the younger ones will know when you come to Big Mama house, you're gonna be respectful, or this is what happened when you get out of line.
Yeah.
One of your own gonna put you in your place.
Yes. Most definitely.
Right? We ain't calling no police over here. It's family business. The police ain't got no business in family business when the whole family is home.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Right?
I agree. And our sisters, I'm just gonna say word of encouragement. We know it's rough, but it's been rough. Just we got to stay strong and keep that energy going. And like we believe out here, I'm in California, I'm in Oakland, and it's the power of love, so we can transcend it all over. But just know that we all doing the same, not all of us, but the ones that are, we doing it, and we praying for you too. And I just
Yeah.
want to speak
So
something really quick about what the brother, when he was talking about altars, and I just wrote in there in the comments that because like what we do here in just because I know we have different traditions in different places, and so me being a woman that was raised as I know we go different terms, and we've talked about it, Brother Rod, as Afro-Indigenous woman. I've been raised on the land with, knowing about what I'm supposed to do. And what we do is we teach our people, because it has been hidden, about our altars. So what we do is we build our altars back instead of us, standing on our mounds, because that's what we're doing out here, the Shell Mound out here in Emeryville. And so what we're doing is we're building altars around our mounds that have been desecrated. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to make that connection, because Pixar doesn't have a problem with making the movie Coco. And that movie was an amazing movie when you look at the Day of the Dead and how that was all about altar building. And it was a movie that brought you feelings, but that's what we've always had. And we are so not connected to that. And we, when a lot of us are there, and it's not spooky. And it's like you said, it's about how, because I have altars all around me. And I build, this is all I do is rocks and all of that. I'm building stuff for altars. So I encourage people, if you do, share if you can with the
so
people that need it. And if you don't, then hold it to yourself, because that's, it's okay.
so a lot of the reasons why we have altars, when you go to the altar, you are altering your perception from the regular world to the spiritual world.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you do it at. And you use that as what you call a sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
This way you train the mind where you can turn it on and turn it off. You turn it on when you go to the altar.
Exactly.
You turn it off when you leave the altar. That way that you're not getting overwhelmed in your day-to-day life with overloads of spiritual input.
Exactly.
Because it's going to come.
Yes.
If you don't train the mind how to control it, it won't have any control. It'll just come.
Yes. And people don't know that when you do, because we do a lot of rituals and a lot of ceremonies. And I'm one in my community. My name is Sekhmet. Like you were saying, when you get a name, you get to choose your name. Sekhmet is the name that was given and I chose. And so I'm the fire holder in the community. And, we build them, and we, but we also, even when we do our lives, we always light a candle to ask the ancestors to be with us. And we build an altar on live around us. Everybody can do their own altar setting. But before we go, we always make sure that the ancestors are sent back, or, to go back. And people don't do that. So you have to be very careful. Just like when I sell my stone, I never let anyone leave my table without clearing them with some sage, some, some copal, some palo santo, something, because I need that person to get their own energy. I got all kinds of energy on it, but I want them to have their own. But people don't teach those kind of things. And that's one of those things that, being of the land, I've just been taught that. And so that's why we're trying to teach it. So it just makes us feel better. And we have more connection to ourselves.
Mm-hmm. So now we at the point where our sisters keep tribing up.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's a slow falling building. It looked like it's falling slow until that motherfucker try to get to escape from under it.
Exactly.
Then you realize how fast it's falling.
Exactly. And like
You know what I'm
you said
saying?
before, you hit rock bottom. That's the only way you don't know where the foundation is to get back up. So
Yeah.
how to rebuild.
I've been there several times on different terrains.
I'm traveling too, so that's why I just wanted to make sure that I gave you, your flowers while you here all the time, and we really appreciate you and we thank you, and we just love building with you, and continually we will support you, and we know you support in the tribes, and I just want people to know the brother's the truth. So thank you
Thank you,
so
City.
much. All right, you have a blessed one, everybody. Peace and love, and just
You
love
too.
each other and tribe up. Love you. Peace.
Peace.
What's going on, big bro?
What's going on with you, guy? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Bully. Calling from Texas. All right, so my question to you, I was just watching one of your videos earlier. I've been on you for about a year, and a partner of mine sent me. He was like, "Man, you heard this Rod Hayes guy?" I'm like, "Who is that?" Sent me one of your videos, and I said, "Man, you know what? I did see this guy about a year ago. You were talking about Yubaru and so on and so forth, and I know the information you were talking about Larry Hoover being the chief of the land." And so I was like, I never heard this type of stuff before. But truth needs no support. The video that I saw earlier, you were talking about how Atlantis didn't sink; it went up in the sky. Can you explain that?
Wait a minute, say it again.
In the video that I was watching earlier, you were speaking on how Atlantis didn't sink; it went up in the sky. Can you break that down, unpack that?
So, you know, when you read about the Crystal City and Revelations returning to Earth,
Okay.
it's returning to Earth.
The Crystal City.
The Crystal City. The Crystal City was the capital. It was actually not the capital, but it was like the storehouse of the wealth of the land.
Okay.
And it was designed to fly away in case of a time when we get taken over by a foreign force trying to seize the wealth. When they came looking for the Crystal City, they knew it was filled with gold. Had gold doors, everything. They called it Cordoba, the city of gold. This is what they was looking for when they came over here.
Sure, okay.
This is when they was going on a murderous rampage in the islands in the northern part of South America with Cortez's army, right? They was killing any chief that wouldn't tell them how to find the city of gold. So they was just killing every chief because none of them didn't know where it was at because it flew away. So they cut their way through forests, found old relics of pyramids and remnant cities from the old Atlant that was no longer occupied, and they thought that they would find the city of gold.
Indiana Jones.
So when you go to look it up, you look up Cortez and the city of gold. The Pirates of the Caribbean was the gold that they took from the reigning chiefs. They hid it on Puerto Rico, the rich port. It's where all of the pirates agreed not to rob from each other. Code of thieves.
No honor amongst thieves. That what that's
right.
Okay.
But they really got a code they live by. They don't live by the honor code, but they got a code. Right? When they sign a contract, this is Uniform Commercial Code now. They signing a contract. And the purpose of the contract is to keep them honest. This is why they got us doing paperwork. But they also can reverse the paperwork to trick you into a trap.
Gotcha. You spoke on Babylonian, and I'm gonna get out the Babylonian blood ritual, right? And so I went and looked it up. Like as you speaking on it, I went and looked it up because I'm like, I know you reference everything, and it was there. Do you see any correlation since that was the time the biblical the Bible was set between that and the ritual of drinking the blood of Christ?
The ritual of what?
Okay, the Babylonian blood ritual. Is there any correlation between that and the ritual of taking in the blood of Christ?
Yeah, it's 100% directly correlated to that's where it came from. Right? The energy is harvested through the intention. If your intention is to cannibalize the Savior and drink his blood, vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
So now you put the intention to kill God in the universe and eat them. Jupiter ate his babies, remember?
Right. Okay.
All right. But at some point, he got punished for it. Right. So they use that to deceive the masses. If you
Go ahead.
if you don't know where you're being led, you're automatically being led to slaughter.
True that.
If you don't know who your leadership is, anybody can lead you. All they got to do is look like they official.
True. That's why you got to listen.
But when you know who the leaders is, you can see clearly the imposter because you know your customs and traditions are not matching with who they telling you the leaders is.
100.
Our custom is the most loved, most respected, who do the most benevolent works in the community and with the most other chieftains gets the highest rank. The highest ranked matriarch is the matriarch that runs the land. The women are the lawgivers. We enforce that shit.
True.
So when they call me to do the work, I have to change the position to put the rightful people in the rightful place so that the shit can run like it's supposed to run.
Hey, look, you just confirmed one of my hunches, you know what I'm saying, that I had. I was just making that correlation. You know what I mean? We break it down Atlas and, you know, how he had to hold up the heavens. And so, you know, as they say, as above, so below, and that is really waters, you know, above as well, you know, as on earth, man. So it's just a lot of deep knowledge, man. I'm going to keep tapping into you, bro. And, man, I appreciate you.
All right. I'll talk to you later, God.
100.
100. Okay, I'm going to take a sister and this was the longest one on there, too. Apologize if I don't get everybody, but I gotta what's going on with you, God?
Bruh, what's up?
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Chief Peacock from the Delta of Mississippi.
Oh, one of the home team.
You know, representing that silk, man. You know what I'm saying? Glad we finally got the bill. You know, we started on Facebook, so we can just basically continue from there, man. If you want to, you know.
Oh, you know, we pick up anywhere you want to pick up.
Yeah, you know, cause it's all about that 888, that zigzag zig, which I was subconsciously attracted to, man. Remember, like I told you, you know what I'm saying? When you were just building with the other brothers, telling them that I gave myself a title too, a name too, the Telepathic Lord 888, son of Ishtar. They just came to me. You see what I'm saying? From there, that led me into just all type of things. So that's why I always like to tell my people to be big on symbology. Just my name being Peacock automatically just rang a bell with me. So it took me to Hinduism, and I noticed that the peacock sacred bird in Hindu. So I got into all of that. You know what I'm saying? Tapped in.
It's also sacred to parts of Africa and South America.
Wow. Didn't know.
It was an import to South America.
Okay.
But they wanted, you ever see those Caribbean festivals in Brazil that look like the Mardi Gras?
Right, yeah, I have.
Yeah, so that's what they used to use the feathers for. Remember I was talking earlier in the video about the extinct bird that used to have those big ass fluorescent feathers. Right. So it was making that. This when you don't have the original, we use the closest thing we can find. Right. So we start using ostrich feathers when they imported ostriches and emus from Africa. We start using the peacock feathers. So when Mansa Musa came over here, he would bring herds of ostrich and herds of peacock or flocks of peacock with him. Because they were the prize for their feathers, more so than the meat. Because that's our all across the land. No matter where you go, our chiefs used to use ornate feather dress for ceremonial purposes in the public. Where the fuck is they at? I don't see that shit nowhere but New Orleans. Where the rest of the chiefs? You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm asking. So now I'm finding them, but they ain't where they supposed to be. Somebody didn't move them off the land. They in cages now.
Wow.
And I know why a caged bird sings, says Maya Angelou.
Wow.
She also said all God's children need traveling shoes. What's traveling shoes? The shoes of Mercury with the wings on them.
Wow.
Right? So the Peacock clan they were the original ones who made the plumed dress for the women, made the plumes for the big chief. Right? And I'm telling you, that motherfucker was huge. It wrapped around the whole fucking pyramid. And then the soldiers stomped. Right. And that's the great Quetzalcoatl, the great Thunderbird ceremony. They called them the Thunderbird because of the stomp, just like they do in the college fraternities.
So subconsciously, like 2 or 3 days.
Genetic memory.
So like 2 or 3 days ago on Facebook, I just out the blue posted the Thunderbird. You know what I'm saying? It just came to me, bro.
Because y'all reading the energy, y'all know that it's the return of the Thunderbird. Thoth is back. And all the imposters on the land gonna be fucking revealed. And he need his chiefs put in a position. Y'all already know this. All the chiefs reaching out. They know they know what the fuck going on. They know this is the coup de grace. This the big motherfucking hurrah.
Because
they didn't call the old man down here from his rest and he ain't happy. Because he don't want to be involved in this human shit and everybody trying to put him in human shit. You see? Put the chiefs where they go, put the matriarchs where they go so I can go about my business.
Period.
And then make the shit run like it's supposed to run. This shit is not hard. Right? But too many chiefs is knocking for me to come fix this shit. I can't ignore that shit. So here I am, fixing it.
And I received a message. You know, that's why I asked you. You remember when I asked you, right? How the hell you know that I'm finna make this transition to the Pacific Northwest like this? You remember, that's why I'm asking you beforehand, before I even tell you, right? You see? And you you broke it down to me. You know what I'm saying? If you don't mind
Big Mama
with that, you know what I mean, a little bit with the public, with the people.
Big Mama got to put you where she needs you to secure the land. Right? So she might need you to be up there to oversee some shit.
Gotcha.
Right? So the regular people don't know how to read who the Chiefs is, but we know who the fuck we be.
Right.
They better go listen to DMX.
Right.
They don't know who we be, but we know each other. Right. So it's just like the war dance in the music industry. To tell the story. Biggie was sitting he was sleeping at the gate, at the east gate. He let the enemy pass, and the enemy got to the west gate and sacked the motherfucking prince of the west gate.
Right.
Right? So what happened? Tupac was talking all that shit about Biggie. Biggie ain't say nothing. Why he ain't say nothing? Because he understood he had to be the whooping post.
Right.
The east gate is how they got in. Right? Who else tell the same story? Chief Crazy Horse. What do you call himself? Osiris, Big Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
Big Baby. Biggie Smalls. He telling me Biggie fell asleep at the gate. He got Osiris in the beginning, and I know that Jesus is ISIS.
He said, I'm the Osiris of this shit.
That's the Great Father. He was running a decoy. Because Bush and them niggas is trying to kill me.
Right.
Anything happen to me, it ain't me, it's Bush and them niggas. They trying to kill me. The CIA trying to kill me. Why in the fuck is he saying that? He telling the truth though, but only the chiefs know what he telling us.
Right.
Right? Now he got them thinking because they expecting the one that's supposed to figure this shit out to be Chief Crazy Horse. It wasn't Chief Crazy Horse. Chief Crazy Horse was running the decoy, and they fell for it. Right? So then it was a group of chiefs and the chief alliance on the northeast, a 5-tribe clan clique off the Shinnecock Nations. In order to put it together, they had to form a hive, the Wu-Tang Clan, Killer Bees, nigga.
Killer Army, I got you.
You see? So the Killer Bees is operating on behalf of Big Mama, Black and Gold.
Right.
Right?
Remember I shot you
Black
that picture with me and my wife with the black and gold. I got you.
Yeah. That's Vice Lord colors. Because Big Mama house is a Vice Lord house. That's the gold and the coal. That's the wealth of the land.
Yeah.
Right? And she's protected on the left hand by the Red Lodge and on the right hand by the Blue Lodge.
Right.
Right? The Blue Lodge is daddy kids. Red Lodge is mama kids. But when they're trying to hide one, they'll put a red one in the Blue Lodge or a blue one in the Red Lodge.
Okay.
Right? In order to be raised by the opposite parent so that there can't be this motherfucker right here.
Right.
Right? All of the chiefs got a job. Jay Prince have to teach the art and science of respect.
Right.
Why? Because he learned respect at an early age. And he was able to use his level of respect gain, cash in on it, and then gain more respect in return. In other words, his currency came in the form of respect.
Right.
So now he got to teach us.
Right.
What's the name of his book? The Art and Science of Respect.
Wow.
Big Meech's job is to teach these young brothers how to not let the money go to their fucking head. And they took him off the land. Before he can go legitimate and teach them how to stay out the streets, they got to move him off the land now. Because he didn't figure out their game. Big 50 boy.
Yeah.
That's one of mine. That's a home team boy right there. I'm going to speak up for him. Right? Jeezy.
Right.
We ain't following this motherfucker y'all putting in the White House. Our president like us. He black. Right?
Right.
What them boys out of Atlanta say? Black and yellow, black and yellow. Right on the heels of them Killer Bees. They telling you, we swarming and tribing up everywhere. They don't see it, but it's happening in real time. They telling the story. In come the mumble rappers. Lil Wayne. Why did he start mumbling? He can't say what the fuck he want to say. Why? It's economics involved, and the enemy is breathing down his motherfucking neck. So he created the whole he made the whole fucking genre pop. with his creative ability.
Right.
That means that no matter what you motherfuckers doing, y'all can't stop me. Right?
Right.
He didn't like the way business was going. First chance he got out. He went to go do business where he felt like he was more honored and respected.
Right.
Young Money Records. In association with Rap-A-Lot Records and Jay Prince, right?
Right.
Right. So all of the chiefs talking across the land. Where Drake come from? From the north, the Dragon Star, the Draco Star. Right?
Right.
And he went to the south. Check the bottom of your map and see where Houston at. It's on the borderline of hard times.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because your ghetto ain't no harder than mine, motherfucker. We all know what's going on the land. So we telling the story. So the High High Chief is Smokey Robinson. Read the lyrics in Clear Tears of a Clown. If you don't know what he's talking about, you ain't no Hyoka. Period. James Brown, Chief. He say, I'm going to teach every one of these boys I can how to handle this music contract. He said, they're going to kill me for it, and I'm going to be broke when it's over. They can go look him up. They're going to find the statement. That means he put everything on the line to teach these youngsters how to navigate that motherfucking music industry and get your just reward. He ain't the only one.
Right.
Ray done it too with his blind ass. Beat him at their own game.
Right.
They killed Sam Cooke for it. Right? By the time Jackie Wilson figured it out and he started putting his daughters up on game, they murdered him, talking about he had a stroke. They murdered him. We be believing everything these motherfuckers tell us. They killing us. But we don't know who we be. Because we trying to worship in the name of Jesus, Allah, and Abraham. That shit don't got nothing to do with us. If you don't know how to read it, leave that shit in the motherfucking church.
Got it.
Right?
Right.
So the preacher don't know that he lying to you. He believe he telling you the truth. Most of the time. But some of them motherfuckers know. T.D. Jakes know. Because he one of the chiefs.
Yep.
But he playing he playing along with their game. It's time to stop playing.
Gotcha, bro.
You know?
Yeah. I just want to, man,
So
personally, man, me and Mama Bear, you know what I'm saying, she in the other room, but just want to personally thank you, man, for that message you sent to us, man. We generally just want to thank you from our heart, bro. You know what I'm saying? Much gratitude, much appreciation, man. I don't want to hold nobody up. I know you might want to take some more calls, but
now, I think this is the last one I'm gonna take. I'm probably gonna look and see if there's some good questions in the question box.
okay, so yeah, man, I just want to continue to build with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And go do what I gotta do.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna be putting a whole lot of shit together. When we hear Larry speak, we're gonna understand what we need to be doing.
Gotcha, bro.
You know. Now it's we just waiting on that move.
Much respect, bro.
Yeah. All right, it's good talking to you,
Oh, you
Chief.
too, God. Peace, God.
Yeah.
Hey, how I get up out of here?
All right, let me look in this question box for a cutout, see if I can answer a couple questions. Cherokee is a catch name that was given to us later on when they was creating $5 Indians. Cherokee is it's a code word. It means the cherry key, which is the key that George Washington was talking about when they say he chopped down the cherry tree. The cherry key is the key to the north, to to the Midwest, Michigan. The earth ain't going nowhere, sweetie. When the matriarch is restored, this motherfucker gonna turn from hell to heaven in front of your face. Are white people hybrids of Nephilim and Anunnaki? All of us on earth at this point are hybrids of those species known as Anunnakis. Every last one of us got Anunnaki DNA in us. Darren Daniel said, thank you for telling me to research resurrected contracts. Anybody that don't know what a resurrected contract need to know what that is, and then you understand why I say you can't do paperwork with these rotten bastards. I used to get downloads about the war above the firmament until it was over. The Etruscan Moors that settled Rome, and they came in waves. They came out of the Sinai Peninsula. They actually enlil's children, and they're not native to Earth. They took over and created the Ottoman Empire, and they came in from the east, and they came across what they call the Pillars of Hercules out of North Africa because they got ran out of Africa for the same shit they about to get ran out of America for. Once they got into Europe, right, they established Rome, Roman culture. All that shit is Etruscan Moors. Look up Etruscan Moors and Ottomans. The Ottomans is where they created the cultural influence of what we know today as Islam, from the tribes that made up what we know as the Turkish clans, the clans of the Turks. And so they went into Spain first, and they went out through Europe. When they settled Rome and Italy, Rome, the city of Rome was the capital. They had already sent in and usurped Greece using Alexander to sack India in order to get the cash scrolls, and they studied that under the school of Plato, where he wrote the Republic, where they was examining forms of government. From Plato's Republic, they understood that a republic form of government would be the most viable form of control because it's a system of law. Republican government is the rule of law. Democrat government is the rule of the masses, right? Which we used to call it tribal rule. They call it mob rule. And so this form of government that we under is a continuation of the Plato Republic form of government, where the written law becomes a catch-all for anybody that they wanted to subjugate. If you knew how many laws was on the books and over here, why do you need legislators legislating 10 months out the year? You know, the laws are too complicated. They're too easy to break. Why are they so easy to break? Because that's the only way they can put you in bondage servitude. Otherwise, you have to be left to your meritorious manumission status of a slave at large, where you are on an honor system of payment, and you have to pay using the IRS tax service because you are confirming that you're an imbecile in law, and that you do your W-2s and your W-4s and your 1040s and your 1099s so that you can always have a record that you had somebody administering your affairs on your behalf and that you paid diligently to have this done. You don't even know your own value because you're so busy relegating your wealth for you to receive something that they call a what they call that shit? A coupon. They're giving you coupons and they call it currency in exchange for using your wealth in order to enrich themselves on the international stock exchange. This is why the money about to collapse, because the international stock exchange and the one on Wall Street been bought out. So they don't own that shit no more. So when these banks get done getting indicted on this forgery fraud, this mortgage forgery fraud, then this is going to bring all of the rest of the government to its knees. All this shit is already exposed. The mortgage frauds, the lending and borrowing kind game, it's a usury game. You can buy anything you want in their system, but the system still owns it. That's why you got to register your car, because you telling them you pledging your vehicle to use in service of their rogue entity on your land. So all of these things got us contracting with them in every manner they can think of in order to appear legitimate and override our legitimate status and make us remain perpetually ignorant in law. That's how they work. That's the whole thing is a chess game. If you don't know who you is, you're going to follow whatever they tell you until your own destruction or until you figure out who you are. Right? So it's just how it is. It's the name of the game. It's a dirty game, but somebody playing. Right? So I'm just immune to the bullshit. So when I see it, I call it. Right? So now I'm calling it. This shit need to be over with. This shit is dragging out too long. Bring them motherfucking conspirators, drag their ass out in the open so the people can see the dirty players for the dirt they did. Stop trying to let these motherfuckers use the media control to cover that shit up. Shut that shit down. That's what I say. And let Larry talk. Put the chiefs on the land. Restore the matriarchy. Protect the children. Make the future. I'm out.